Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 11 of the Shameless Plug podcast, everyone's favorite weekly podcast. I know it's been a long week since our last episode, but it's only been a week, and it'll be one more week till the next one. My name's TMT Coco. I'm joined, as always, by my co host.
I'm Lick My Sock 117.
That's the one, also known as Lick My Sock II7, or Lick My Socks, or a few other Twitch names now. You've kind of gone through the carousel trying to get your original name. You never did get it, did you?
No, I never did. There's some other imposter scumbag out there with Lick My Sock 117 on Twitch. And honestly, it's probably me whenever I started watching Twitch like 7 years ago.
Have you actually checked it? Like, did you go there and just see if they stream at all?
Well, like, there's no actual account under the name. Like, if you search it, like, nothing exists. There's no, like, account under. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being bamboozled. I don't know. Yeah. Started with Lick My Sock 117 Gaming. And I was like, I really want to ditch the gaming part. That's like a mouthful, right? Yes. So I was like, okay, can I make like the capital ones or I's look like ones? And so I did that. And like, there's no like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, this is what it's going to look like. You just like type it in and you're like, okay, that looks pretty good. Like my sock, capital I7, you know, those could pull off as ones. And then I hit okay. And then immediately it's like, well, thank you for changing, and you can't change it again for 90 days. and then I go to my thing, and then it lowercases everything, no matter what you made it look. So then it was Lick My Sock I7 on the billboard of my profile, and I was like, I guess we're just gonna have to run with that.
And then you got to explain that to everybody anytime anyone asks for your Twitch.
Yeah, so after 90 days, I gave it another shot, and I was really shopping around to see what other names. I was like, maybe I can just get away with the old RuneScape classic of Lick My Sock 11, but nope, that's taken. And I was like, okay, what about Lick My Sock _117? Nope, sorry. Then I was like, okay, what about Lick My Sock 117 Gaming? And then it was like, no, sorry, that name's taken too. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so someone somewhere was just waiting to get that name for the longest time, and as soon as you switched, they sniped it.
Like, identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of people suffer every year.
And now it's
anyway. So now I found a loophole. If I just plural the socks, we can kind of slip in under the radar. So the new Twitch is Lick My Socks 117. And I think I can get away with that. I think that's what it's going to remain.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Close enough. Good enough for government work.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to find that. I wouldn't dare change my name at this. I mean, I really have nothing to change it to, unless I go back to like my old Xbox gamer tag. But I made that when I was 12. It's kind of cringe. I wouldn't use that again.
I mean, I think it's pretty clever, but it's kind of doxed yourself, though.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like it's really not hard to figure that one out.
Yeah, like I got my Series X a few weeks ago now, I guess, and I wanted to start streaming on it. I don't have a capture card yet, but it has an option to stream like straight from it, and you don't get like all the stuff you have with OBS. But I got that, and I'm like, okay, I could do this, and then I'm like, hang on, doesn't it say my actual name in the profile? So I looked and like,
sure does.
Yeah, anytime I press like the main Xbox button in the middle, it's gonna show my name
first and last.
Yep. It may as well just have my home address as well at that point. And
but you know what? Will it still do that even with the capture card though? Like if you hit the Xbox home button, like it's still gonna come up on the screen.
Yeah, I think the only option I have is just to remove my name entirely. Which I'm hoping it'll let me do without breaking it. Watch, I'll go to put my name back a year from now and it'll be like, yeah, that name's taken.
It's a slippery slope for sure. Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Like if I just don't press that button, I'm fine, I guess. But
you're gonna end up pushing the button. There's no way. That's like an essential crossroads of the Xbox controller.
Yeah. If I want to go home, I got to press that button. If I want to record something, I have to press that button. I want to switch games, press that button. Pretty much everything is pressing that button. And for some reason, it has to just remind you your own name every time you do it. So I'll have to look into that a bit more. I didn't realize how expensive capture cards were though. They're almost like a whole nother console if you get the fancy Elgato ones. Like 200
Yeah.
some dollars. Insane.
I got one for, it was Black Friday. No, no, it wasn't Black Friday. It was something else. There was some sale in February. When we got the Stream Decks, there was some kind of sale on.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was.
Anyway, I picked one up then and it was $100. And it doesn't do 4K, but it does 1080, and my stream only goes out in 1080 anyway. So I was like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
I've actually never used it yet. It's still in the box, brand new.
Yeah, we used,
But it was on sale for 30% off, so I figured why not?
yeah, may as well. I was going to get one. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want 4K, not for the stream. I don't care about the stream having 4K HDR or anything like that, but like I still want that to go to my TV. And some of them don't even have pass through for that. So you're just losing quality by having the capture card. And then I went down a
Oh,
wormhole.
you mean for what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same quality all the way through. And I went down a rabbit hole. I'm like, okay, if I have an HDMI splitter, so I have two wires. One of those wires goes to my TV straight, one goes to the capture card, and then into my computer, and it just got so complicated. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just play the Xbox games for me for a while. So I'm playing through Guardians of the Galaxy right now, just on my own. But like, I couldn't stream that anyways. Guardians of the Galaxy is always about music, and that game would just have me blasted right off the site instantly. There, there's like probably 20 or 30 big name, definitely copyrighted songs that play in it. So there's no way I'd get away with that.
So how did other people get away with it?
Well, there's a streamer mode, but the game, from what I've heard, is basically almost completely silent because they don't substitute half of it with like non-copyrighted music, royalty-free stuff. They just play nothing. So it's just super quiet half the time. And that at that point I feel like you're just losing half the game. So it's like, well, why bother streaming that?
Yeah, I suppose. Yep. To me, content's content.
Yeah. Maybe if I played it a second time, I'd play it without the music. But like, if
Do you
I'm
think you'd ever play it a second time?
no, probably not. Like it's all right. I've heard it's pretty short, so I don't know. I may have played through most of it already, but it's not. It's no KOTOR. I wouldn't be playing it several times over Elder Scrolls or anything like that.
It sucks that like they never get like the animation to look like their MCU counterparts, or even do the voice acting from the MCU counterparts. Like, to me, it feels like a totally different game, or
Yeah,
like different franchise. You know?
yeah. I mean, I they never actually explain because I guess it came out before the whole multiverse thing. Like they never say, "Oh, this is from like a different universe" or something like that. But it's a blatantly different story. Like how Quill meets Yondu and Gamora and everybody else is just totally different. So I guess they were like, well, if we're doing a different story, why are we gonna make them look the same? Which I kind of get, but yeah, I would have preferred if it was just a story in the existing universe and they look like how they did. Like they gave Groot dreads. Why? Like
Because it was artsy and different
yeah, it just
and
looked.
fun.
And then Groot has like he has like a beard that's tied up, so it's just like one single string of hair coming down from his chin with like beads on it. So he looks kind of weird too. The others aren't bad, but
Is Gamora still looking fine as wine, or?
she looks good. She got that
Yeah, right on.
slightly shorter, like she's got probably shoulder height hair instead of the longer hair, and it's more like purpley. But she's got some
Right
weird
on.
friggin' armor going on, like bright white blinds you when she stands in the sun. But and then Drax looks pretty much the same. His like markings are a little different, but that's about it. Still could pass as Dave Batista.
Drax without Dave Batista, though, damn, I wouldn't want to live in that world.
Sure. He is pushing so hard to try and get a Gears of War series where he's Marcus Phoenix, and I want it to happen. Like,
Yeah, he's got like the right physique for those massive, those massive buggers and gears.
yeah, they're all like just roided up football players for the most part. And I mean, he's kind of well, I don't know how tall he actually is, but he looks kind of stocky, so he could definitely fit the part. And he wants to do it, like he likes gears and stuff. So
Hasn't that been going on for almost like 10 years though? Like
oh,
he's been trying
he's
to
been
get this
pushing and
going.
pushing. He almost turned down one movie because he's like, "Look, I don't want to do this. I want to do Gears of War." I can't remember which movie it was, but I remember reading he went into like it wasn't an audition because they already knew they wanted him, and he was like, "Look, instead of this movie that you're already working on, can we please just do Gears of War?" And they wouldn't do it, which
But
like
if they did do Gears of War, it would have to be the exact same as the games. Like anything else, just like what they did with like Halo, right? I just wouldn't care. I just don't really
yeah.
care about it.
Yeah, I still haven't watched the last episode of Halo. I watched every other one except for that one. And I was just like, you know what? I don't even care what happens. I kind of forgot about it. I've been paying Paramount Plus for like 4 months now for no reason because there's nothing else on it besides NCIS, which is always on TV anyways. So
Is there even new NCIS coming out? I don't think so.
yeah, it's still going, but like the entire cast is gone, so it's kind of I don't want to say
Yeah,
garbage, but it's not good.
it's not great
So
anyway.
it's basically garbage. Yeah. The only mainline character that's left is the computer guy McGee, and then they have one of the guys that was in that '70s show, the guy that played Fez. I couldn't
Oh
remember his
no.
character's name, but yeah,
I'm surprised he got to work anywhere else, to be honest with you.
I mean he is much different. Like I didn't realize it was him at all until I can't remember if I read an article that like said that he was the one from the '70s show or what, but yeah, he's definitely different. But yeah, I kind of want to back up a little bit here. We were talking about sales. We were talking about Amazon. We can't remember what sale that was when we got the capture cards and the Elgatos and stuff. But Amazon Prime Day was well, one, it was 2 days, so they just outright lied to us. It should be Amazon Prime days. I'm still kind of upset about it. And it was garbage from my perspective. I didn't see a single thing that was worth buying that was on sale. And like I kind of went into it last year. I looked, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I want, so I'm probably not going to find anything. But this year I planned ahead. I'm like, I'm going to make a wish list of everything that I could possibly think of that I would buy from Amazon. Not a single one was on sale. Actually, no, that's a lie. There was one SSD that was 2% off, and that was it.
We looked, we always look for Prime Day because ordering stuff off Amazon Prime is pretty well inevitable these days. Like for me, anyway. Like if there's something very specific that you want and like Walmart's not going to carry it, pretty well your next step is to go to Amazon, right?
Yeah, if it,
And
like I couldn't imagine not having Prime, but
yeah, but anyway, so like we looked, and so we got a big camping trip coming up, and we're like, okay, well, is there anything we need that we want to order for that, and we'll just send it to where the home base is, so that way it gets shipped there and not here. Anyway, there's like the discounts were actually disgusting. Like you said, 2%, 3%. Like that's not a deal. Like that's not even worth your time to look.
it's
Like if I'm gonna go out and buy something, I'll pay the $6 difference. You know what I mean?
it's
Like
borderline insulting. Is what it is.
I'm actually offended. Like I might actually send an angry email.
Yeah, straight to Bezos, and I want him to read it personally.
Yeah, like I don't know what you were looking for in particular, but anything from like camping or even like I don't know. We were looking at like for a new blender, right? And like their blenders were all terrible. And I feel like with a blender, I want to actually see it before I buy it. Like I want to see it in store. I want to feel like the heavy quality. You know what I mean? I want to see the blade,
Yeah, you got to check that
stuff like that.
construction. You want to make sure it's not just going to implode the first time it hits like a rough apple or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Because you know me, like I'm not really in all the prep. The big chunks are going in there, full ice cubes. Like oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got to last.
So yeah, that was pretty disappointing. And like in regards to like camp and stuff, like they didn't really have anything. Like they were trying to sell. like, and like they put the big advertisements on the page, right? Oh, you've been looking at this stuff, check this out. And like it was like these ready to eat meals, and you got like 6 of them, and it was like $184 for basically like moon food, camping food. And I was,
Yikes.
it's just brutal. Like
I feel like food's the one thing I'll probably never buy off Amazon. Like even like any type of food, just wouldn't do it. There's no need. I'd rather just go to a store.
I'm trying to think now. I don't think that's really like the only food. It's just because it's not imperishable, right? Like it's like literal powder.
Yeah.
It's like protein shake, I guess. I don't know. I've never had protein shake, so
Yeah. If you get a picture of us, you know neither of us has eaten a protein shake. It shows.
Yeah, yeah. If you looked at me, you'd be like, "Wow, that guy definitely hits the shake and then hits the gym." My goodness, sun's out, guns out. Am I right?
Yeah, I got my physique does not represent anything good. I hit shakes, but there's no protein in them, and I don't go to the gym after.
Don't get me wrong, I like a good shake, but it's more of the milk variety.
Yeah, like protein's just it's fluff. I don't need that. Just give me some sugar instead, and I'll be fine.
It's a crutch if you're asking me. Like,
yeah, like
something to lean on.
Personally, I believe the only part of working out in a gym that I wholeheartedly agree with and believe is effective is bulking season, because I've been doing that for the past 4 years and it has been going very smooth.
All bulked up, ready for the next step that I keep pushing off for decades.
I'm just bulking up for winter, and then after winter, it's like, well, there's another winter coming, so
yeah. But all in all, yeah, Amazon like sale wise has been a joke, right? They almost like make a serious Netflix's joke, say Prime Day is a joke. But one thing they have got right, in my opinion, is Amazon Prime streaming. Like, there's a lot of good stuff on there, and this is where I want to transition to talking about The Boys. Now, I know you haven't seen it, but I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh, I've been watching it for years. I've been on this hype train. I
was there before it started.
Yeah, I was following their social media page when it was announced. No, I'm not that guy. I only just binged it probably, over the past like couple weeks, right? I'd watch an episode here and there, and they're pretty short seasons. They got 8 episodes per season, and it's 1-hour episodes. But anyway, so The Boys is basically, there's superhero. There's a world where superheroes exist, and everybody's like, okay, superheroes exist, right on. But it's so like down to earth of like how it would probably be in our reality. Like, there's such parallels to like the world today and like what's going on in the Boys universe. So like the superheroes, like they treat them like a business, and so there's like the really they're like actors, except they actually have superpowers.
Right.
And so like this big evil company called Vought has like all the famous superheroes like working for them, and they make like millions of dollars. They make like movies. They make
so
like all kinds of
literally acting with their powers.
They're literally actors, and they have like endorsements. Like there's this one hero called A-Train, and he just runs really fast. He's basically Dash. Anyway.
Right.
So he runs really fast, and so he sells like shoes and milk and protein shakes, and so they're above society, right? So like there's the main superhero's name's Homelander, and he's basically like Superman. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, big, jacked. He smiles for all the cameras and stuff, and he can shoot lasers out of his eyes, and he can fly, and nothing can hurt him.
Yeah,
like he's just been like that since he was born. He's basically invincible. Anyway, so like stuff starts to happen in the series where like the superheroes are kind of like screwing up, and they're like, but they're not accountable for it because they're so famous. It's like if like somebody really rich in our society gets pulled over for a DUI, right? Like they don't see any jail time for that.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like the same deal, the privilege. Anyway, so The Boys are like, Carl Urban, he plays like the lead guy. He plays Butcher, and he has like this small team of like 3 dudes, and they're trying to bring the whole superheroes down. They know all the superheroes are scumbags, but they can't like fist fight them because they're superheroes and they're gonna die, so they have to come up with like these clever ways. And anyway, they end up recruiting this main character guy in the first episode because his girlfriend gets splatted by the guy who runs really fast. Like, she's standing on the curb like saying goodbye, like they're planning like a fancy dinner that evening, like an anniversary or something like that. Right. And anyway, so A-Train just comes running through and he accidentally runs into her, and she just splatters, and there's like gore, and there's like, it's like slow motion, this big splat, and it gets all over Huey, who's like the main character. And so then Adrian like stops, and he's just like covered in her blood too, right? Because like she implodes, like she like he goes through her doing Mach 1 or whatever, and she's just like, you need a mop for everything that's left. And anyway, he's just like, sorry man, gotta go. And he takes off again, and Buddy's just left standing there, and his girlfriend's guts or whatever. And anyway, so that gives him motivation to like hate the soups and everything, so he ends up teaming up with Butcher, right? And so anyway, the series is about Butcher trying to take down Homelander and his like all of his like superheroes or whatever. But it's really funny, it's really well done, and it's not like all these other streaming shows that come out. They're so cliche, like, you know, with their writing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Boys is like super entertaining, and it's not really predictable. And the last season just finished airing. Well, the last season that's out, season 3, and I don't know how long we have to wait till season 4. But man, that's now one on my roster. I'm definitely excited for it.
Well,
I think you should give it a try.
There's one episode in particular of that show that I've been hearing about for the past 2 years that I heard they did this season, which was Hero Gasm, which was apparently just supposed to be an absolutely off the rails episode that they had to fight to be allowed to get made.
Yeah, so like Hero Chasm, Frenchie's gonna be upset he missed this. Anyway, and that gets said like 3 different times through the episode by different people, because like Frenchie's this one guy who's like kind of a weird fella.
Right.
Like, so Hero Gasm is like, people know about it, but like it's very rare for like people to stumble upon it, and it's where all the superheroes that are right freaks, they all get together and have a massive orgy, right? Like, and it's just, they all just get together, they're all freaks, they all have superpowers, and it's just some rich people will host it in their house, and it's like a swingers party, right? There's just naked people everywhere, and they're just going at it. Anyway, yeah, like it really wasn't as crazy as they were saying it to be. Maybe I'm just,
they hyped it up,
I don't know,
so much from all the stuff I read. They're like, it's gonna be the most insane episode of anything you've ever seen.
It was a really good episode because like I don't want to talk about any spoilers, but like there ends up being like a really good fight scene, and like there's a reason why, like they don't just throw it in there, like there's a reason why Hero Gasm's like happening, right. Which is like it's really good writing. And there's this one guy that's part of like, so the head Vought superhero, they're called the Seven, and it's basically like they're Avengers, right? They're like the head superheroes that they were appointed there by Homelander, like he got to pick his team or whatever.
Yep.
And anyway, there's basically their Aquaman, right? So his name's the Deep, and he's basically the idiot superhero that nobody likes, like so he can talk to fish and stuff like that, and he has like gills on his chest that they make him cover up because it's weird, because it's all about the cameras, right? And like for the public fame and stuff like that,
right?
And I tell you, Deep just gets absolutely pooped on like throughout the series, man. And but like rightfully so. Like you'll see that he actually kind of deserves it because he's kind of a scumbag,
right?
But there's like this one scene where, well, like he goes to like the like coordinator, and he's saying like, hey, listen, like I want to start doing like real missions, you know, like I want to start helping out like some marine life and stuff like that instead of just doing these BS like robbery stuff, and they're like, no, you're just gonna stay on script and you do the deep stuff. And he goes out on his own, and he ends up like rescuing like a dolphin from like a zoo or something like that. And so he's got like this rental van, and they're all hyped up, and he can talk to the dolphin, right? But the dolphin's just making dolphin sounds back to him. Yeah. And like it's like a 5-minute scene. They're just driving in this van, and he's like spraying down the dolphin. You like that, right? With water or whatever, because the dolphin's like hanging like in a hammock in the van, right, like looking forward. And anyway, he gets like distracted or whatever. He ends up like T-boning some other vehicle or something, and the dolphin flies through the windshield, flies about 100 feet and lands on the pavement and starts like rolling. And it's and then it gets run over by a semi. It's absolutely brutal. But it was that's pretty early on in season 1. It was that point I was like, oh my god, this show is actually amazing. The Deep's a messed up dude, man. Like in Hero Gasm, he's got like an octopus doing stuff to him. Like it's so weird.
There's so many strange shows that come out. Like streaming services just let a whole nother level of weird concepts come to light that you just could not get away with in movies. Like
yeah, you can't just air that on TV, right? Like that's just,
yeah, I'm basically like the closest I can think to that from what I've heard of it and what you're saying is like Deadpool, and that was also kind of hard to just get as a movie. Like they kind of push back against some of the stuff in that too, from what I heard.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely like they push the boundaries, but it's like tasteful, right? Like there's nothing that they do that doesn't make sense for like the writing. Like they don't just throw stuff in there for shock value. There is shock value in the stuff, but you're like, wow, I can't believe like it went in that direction. And allegedly, it's out of comic books, like the series is based off of. But like
Right.
people are saying like it's straying like very far away, which I like because that means nobody knows what's really coming.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there was like Game of Thrones early on. It would be on TV, and people that read the books were like, "Well, this is gonna happen," and everyone else, okay, thank you for ruining that for everybody that hasn't read the book already.
Oh, like the Red Wedding kind of deal, or
Yeah, and then I mean, then it strayed away and went the worst direction, where it got worse as it strayed away from the books. But
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that I was watching that from the beginning either. I only binged the whole thing when season 7 came out. I watched all that, and then you had to wait the 2 years, and then season 8 was a super disappointment.
yeah, I binged the whole thing in 2 weeks when the last season started, I think, and then I watched the last ones like as they came out. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that was kind of trash. But it's good. The Boys is something that's not like just made for the sake of putting something out. Like they're not just making. I hate how much I say this word now, but they're not just making content for the sake of making content and making money off of it. Unlike Skull and Bones, which is a game coming out from Ubisoft, which looks absolutely garbage. And we've heard about this for how many years has it been? Like I can't even remember the first time I heard about this game.
Easily 4 years.
Yeah.
Easily.
And they've just been delaying it and saying like, this is going to be the definitive pirate experience and stuff, while Sea of Thieves already exists and is getting established and everything. And it was kind of advertised as being like the more realistic pirate game that you could play. Like you could have cartoony Sea of Thieves or a more realistic Skull and Bones. And it was like a week ago or something they did the reveal trailer, and it just looks like an extra added mission for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which they did essentially just directly copy it from, but removed anything to do with land, from my understanding.
It was so easy. All they had to do was take the formula for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, take out like the Assassin's Creed part, which really wasn't even there in that game, if you ask me. Like,
Yeah,
but he was a pirate and put on the robe, and he was like, oh, "I guess I'm an assassin now."
yeah, like he just killed an assassin at the start, didn't he? And then just
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah,
And like he does end up like there is the Order of Assassins like in the
yeah,
East Indies or whatever, but like he's never really a part of it. Like he helps them out with stuff like that, but it's not like the other games. But anyway, that's fine because I totally love like the pirate part of the pirate game, and all they it's not like they didn't own the rights to it, right? Like what blows me away is there's so many things that like they'll own the franchise rights, but they'll just be like, oh, we did that already. I know people loved it, but what if we did something the total opposite? Maybe they'll love that too. Like it's with this and like not copying the formula for that, and like just as like a side example, like Star Wars, for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show,
right.
They didn't use any Star Wars music until like the last 5 minutes,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me. I was like, so like who owns the right to the Imperial March?
Yeah, it's them. like they have it. They just...
If it's not them, who does?
Yeah.
They just decide not to put it in. But anyway, like so yeah, Skull and Bones, like they put Black Flag and they put less content in it.
Yep.
And you can get off the boat, but it's like almost like Destiny 2 or I'm trying to think of some other game, or like some of the Call of Duties where like you go back to like a hub, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can get off the boat, but that's just like a little hub where you can just buy stuff and then you go back on the boat.
Yeah, there's really nothing to do there.
For the like most part. I'm never gonna buy it.
Like if it came out right after Black Flag, I probably would have got it just because I was still like into Black Flag and it fit the time period. But now it just looks outdated, for one, because it's like I don't remember when Black Flag came out. Probably 2016, 2017, something maybe. No, way before that. Actually, I was playing that in high school.
Way before that, 2014, 14? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still in high school. and it still looks like a game that came out at that time because it is a direct copy of a game that came out at that time. So it just looks so outdated right from the start. It the graphics really don't look super impressive. Like they look all right, but nothing super innovative or anything. And it was delayed so many times, and it's like, what were you
Yeah,
doing? That
it's like they've sunk too much money into it, and they have to like follow through. Like they didn't just want to cut their losses, kind of deal. Like
yeah,
they must have so much thrown into that game. Maybe they actually don't though, because like I said, it's a direct copy of the other game. Like I
yeah,
understand time is money. That's really where the big spender's been, but it's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like they made like a bunch of new assets. Like if you look really closely, like a lot of the same assets are there from all the Assassin's Creed franchises.
yeah. Like I don't know if they ever said if they put it on hold. I just remember them saying it was delayed a bunch of times. So I don't know how much they actually worked on it, but there's no way they make money off of this. It's gonna be such a
Well,
big loss, I would think.
they originally, like they changed what the whole game was, right? So originally when it was announced, it was just going to be like 5 on 5, almost like Star Wars Squadrons, like pirate arena
Which
battles
is
with
garbage.
pirate ships, which is garbage. And then everybody told them it was garbage. They're like, okay, let's just not delay it. Let's not release that. We're going to delay it. And then over the years, they actually took it in a whole new direction and went more the like the single player route. And that's why they're like, oh yeah, you're like a pirate on a journey or and all that BS.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to just be like an arena game, which was going to be even more terrible than what they punched out now. So that's where all the time went and all the money. They basically remade the game.
I guess it's for the best that they didn't do that because I definitely would have flopped. But it, I, I probably won't get it. Like I'm assuming it's not gonna be a free to play. I'm also very much assuming it'll have a battle pass of some kind. But even if it was free, I don't think I'd touch it. It just doesn't look interesting at all, and I think they're gonna lose a ton of money on it.
I was interested enough to actually tune in on the live stream. Like I was home and I was watching it. And yeah, I watched like the whole live stream. And after like my better half, she was watching it with me and she turned over. She's like, that seems like, like a fun pirate game. And I said, did we watch the same thing? That looked terrible.
uh,
That looked so bad. I already have Sea of Thieves. I ended up paying 8 months of Game Pass and bought the game. So
Yep, and I still have Game Pass. I canceled Game Pass and then I got the Xbox Ultimate or whatever, so I have Game Pass again for no reason. So I gotta cancel that. But yeah, Sea of Thieves is just in such a the stuff Sea of Thieves has done in the time that Skull and Bones was delayed. Just it's sunk in. It's got the pirate like game genre pretty much on its own now. I can't see anyone moving from that to Skull and Bones. And I can't see anyone
no,
even
I
from
don't think so.
Assassin's Creed moving over because it was such an old Assassin's Creed they based it off of.
That was like a real dividing time for the Assassin's Creed fans because after that came out like Unity, and everybody thought Unity sucked. And people were
Yeah.
like, "Well, Black Flag's not even an Assassin's Creed game, so I guess Assassin's Creed's dead." Then they came out with like the one in Egypt or whatever, and like, "Wow, Assassin's
Origins.
Creed's back," and it's like, well, even that don't even really feel like Assassin's Creed to me.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed is simple combat, block, kill, block, kill.
Well, they lost the assassin part too. Like
Yeah.
Valhalla
Oh, for sure.
is. I started playing that again when I got my Xbox. There is no assassin aspect to that at all. It's just an RPG. Like if you absolutely want to, you can put a hood over your head and then pull out your axes and start killing people. That's as close to an assassin as you get. And there's no like sneaking up on people. There's no tailing people. There's nothing like that. And yeah, Black Flag was kind of the first one I think that did that, and it ended up being really popular just because like the premise of it was really good and the ship combat felt good and stuff. But yeah, after that, like Origins, oh, what was the other one? There was Origins, Valhalla, and there was another one that, the Greek
There was
one.
Unity in there.
What's the Greek one? I'm gonna have to.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Damn, it was Origins, and then there's something between that and Valhalla. I know what you're talking about. It's the one where you're in Rome.
Well, it's all of
Odyssey?
it.
Is it Odyssey?
Yeah, yeah, it's like all of Greece. I was trying to find the disc. I have it for PlayStation.
Because you lost your save and didn't want to play again. Is that one?
No,
Or?
that was Valhalla. But I found out with Valhalla because yeah, it killed my Xbox One. The fan stopped working, it overheated, and just that was it. I only lost probably a couple hours because this was back when I had garbage internet, so updates took forever. And my Xbox One had an update, and I kept delaying it. And because I delayed it, I had to stay offline, so it didn't sync the saves. But everything before that update, it actually kept. So that's why I started playing it again on Series X, because I installed it and my save was there. So I just had to replay the last little bit, which was fine because I forgot the whole storyline anyways. But yeah, it's
Either way, it sucks losing a save and progress, and you just feel like you're moving in the wrong direction.
oh, it's real rough. Yeah, especially with like they're long games too. So even if I did the first 10% and then had to do it again, that's still hours. So yeah, I didn't want to restart that. Thankfully, I didn't have to. It's not like World at War where I've done the first 3 missions probably 50 times now.
I've never played them since.
No, but they were still good. For those that don't know, I had a copy of Call of Duty World at War, so all World War II focused, and for some reason, it just would not keep my saves. So every time I played it, I had to play it from the start up until whatever mission I wanted to play. And we ended up playing it locally. And every time we had to play it, we had to play it from the start. And we would always do the beach landing mission. And we're like, this game is so good. And then we'd get to the Russian mission where you're just clearing fields. And it's like, you know what? We played this for 2.5 hours. We've played this mission 30 times. Let's stop playing.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how that happened, but
it just didn't even make sense. I don't know if that was a disc thing or the old 360 hard drive on the top. I don't know. Yeah, we'd hang out for like 4 hours after school, and we'd always get to like the same mission, and we're like, yeah, so I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, like we played the entire game's worth of game time, but only that first third for so much of it. But it was good. That was a good game.
Still good though. I enjoyed it. No regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But your internet's definitely take a drastic change in the past month or so, a couple months.
Oh, it's
you finally got that high speed life.
I've evolved. I'm above so many people now. I look down on people that have internet issues now. I'm like, can't relate. Must suck to suck. Like people
Has it been consistent? Any complaints?
Oh, it's been so good. It's right been so smooth. The only thing I'm kind of regretting is when I had to get a new router for it. I got like a really nice one and it works well and it has tons of features on like a phone app and stuff. But there's two different kinds of Wi-Fi you can get. You can get just like a router, which just gives you like a circle around it of service, or you can get mesh, which you have a router and then you have these basically Wi-Fi extenders that you just put throughout your house so you have better service everywhere. And I was like, well, my house isn't that big. I don't need that. I kind of needed that because 5G is super low range. So I only get like sometimes it's 1 bar because my computer's Wi-Fi. I get 1 bar sometimes, and sometimes I'll have 3, and nothing changes. I don't move anything. It's just temperamental like that. So every once in a while I'll be on the 5G, and normally it'll be like 150 upload. It's always the upload that takes a hit for some reason. And sometimes it'll be like 30, which is still good. But like I uploaded a video on YouTube a couple days ago, and I'm like, why did that take as much time as it did? And I thought, well, okay, YouTube's probably slow because it's got so many things uploading. And then I looked, and I'm like, well, I only have 1 bar, and I did a speed test, and it was down to 30 instead of 150. I'm like, man, I really should have got that other router.
But I mean, 30 is still 30 over what you had before, right?
Yeah, so, considering I was lucky to have 1 before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, for sure. That's right on, man. Though that's our hometown. A lot of years of
pain
until this year, just paying for internet,
and so that's what like
2022 years of pain, or longer if you believe their own stories.
Yeah, yeah. Like they built the pyramids 4,000 years ago, and I didn't get high speed internet until 2 months ago. It's insanity. Like we clearly did not prioritize.
And it's not like, not to dox the location, but it's not like it's that far out of the way of anything, right?
No, it's
Like,
right between two big towns that have
that's right.
had high speed for years. Like growing up
Yeah.
and going to school, and like I remember
To use the
when I had
internet.
dial up, like when I had dial up and people had like initial high speed, which still wasn't super high speed, but it was still so much better. And at the time, stuff wasn't as big, so people would be like talking about playing online games, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I played CartoonNetwork.com Flash games, and it takes 20 minutes to load. And if someone calls my house, I disconnect. And then I finally get mediocre high speed, and then people have like cable and fiber, which is so much better. And I'm like, yeah, I have an update, and it's gonna take me a day. And they're like, oh yeah, I did that in 15 minutes. So I've just been like a generation of internet behind forever. And,
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
and now, I mean, now there's like gigabit internet, so I'm still not there. But I feel like once you have fiber, you're not behind anymore. So
Yeah, that's right. You can get away with anything. Like I bet you, like the first 2 days, you were just finding anything to download and update.
oh,
And
I
it's just
downloaded
like
everything
putting
I
a needle
possibly
inside.
could.
Yeah, yeah. No, right on. No, I'm the same way. Like getting back from sea, right, and you got the terrible internet out there, which
And
was
limited
still
too.
better. Yeah, but anyway, like you'd get home and you'd just be like, I'd be watching just YouTube videos, just let them go on autoplay. Those would be going on in the background. I'd have like Spotify going, then I'd have like Netflix going on different device.
Yeah,
Just surround myself in internet.
and you're picking the highest possible quality for everything too.
Oh, of
Like,
course.
why is this autoing to 720p? Give me 1080 at least.
What's ridiculous is that actually, like, I'm with Kudo, right, for my cell phone, and I don't have the option for unlimited. Like, I have,
At
like,
all.
with all the bonus data I've gotten over the years, like, they offer, like, this and that. Like, you qualify for the same amount of money per month. You get an extra 5 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So, over the past, like, 5-6 years I've been with them, I got, like, 25 gigabytes, I believe.
Right.
Which is pretty good. Like, if you burn through that, like, you're obviously just streaming, like, videos every day.
Yeah.
Anyway, my cycle refreshes on the 16th of every month, and yesterday, like the last like couple hours before midnight, I got a notification. You've used 100% of your data, and I was like,
Yeah, and
this is what Coco feels like.
yeah, because I had 20 for like I went from 2 gigs to 5 gigs to 20 gigs, and I was still running out. And then eventually they brought unlimited, and I was like, yeah, I need this. But the irritating thing about the unlimited that I had, well, still have, I just don't use all of it anymore, is it's 20 of like high speed, and then after 20 they cut down the speed like crazy, which would still be fine when I was using it as a hotspot for work, but you can't hotspot after that 20 gigs, and that's what really hurt me. Because like even if it was
Really?
slow and I could send an email, I'd be fine. But yeah, I couldn't do anything for work after that, and I'd be hitting 20 like probably 2 or 3 months out of a year at least because of my garbage internet. So it's real nice to not worry about that. And then they're like, oh, well, you could get 5 gigs more for $80 or something ridiculous like that. I'm like, man,
yeah,
I hate you people so much.
The pricing is ridiculous. Like in Europe, like I remember when I was over there a couple years ago, and I'd see signs in France. I don't read much French, but anyway, the gist of it was unlimited data for like 15 euros a month, which is like the equivalent of like $22 here, right? Yeah. It's like, come on.
Oh, we're getting shafted for sure. And like the top ups, that's when they know that they have you, and the alternative is nothing.
Yeah,
we're just gonna blast you now.
Thankfully, Risk doesn't take a lot of data. Like I play a lot of online Risk on my phone at work, and I probably shouldn't because my rank has definitely gone way down. Because like I feel like I don't play as good on my phone. But anyway, it's something to play though. It's nice. Like it makes the time go by. If I get into a good Risk game, there goes an hour.
Yeah, I feel like you're at a detriment if you play anything on a phone though. Apparently, Fall Guys is on mobile, and you can always tell who's on mobile because they're just garbage.
Yeah, that would just be terrible for a competitive game like that. Like to me, like a phone game, like I understand they're all overly monetized. For me, it's something that you're just supposed to like kind of relax and just pass a bit of time. Like it's not supposed to be competitive. I make Risk a little competitive, I guess, but
Yeah.
You know, I play Risk and I play Galaxy of Heroes, Star Wars. So that's the extent of my mobile library.
Forgot that game existed. But yeah, you can get some sweaty mobile. Like you can play Fortnite on mobile.
And people plug in like a controller.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, what are you doing? Just go home. If you really
They
need to
are
play
home.
it.
They are
That's
home.
gross.
They can't beat the Xbox people, so they got to put a controller
Put it to
and play
mobile.
against the phone, play against the touchscreen people.
I think Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Warzone or Blackout, which was just baby Warzone. They had a mobile game too. I mean, Blackout looked like a mobile game on
Well,
consoles.
it's just Call of Duty Mobile. Like it's still a thing,
Yeah,
and it makes a lot of money, like a weird amount of money,
I don't
like
get the
EA
market.
amount of money.
Yeah, like,
Kids, mom's credit card.
but
Like
why?
that's
Just play the game on a console or a computer.
they might not have one, right?
I'll get
Like,
one.
especially
God.
over in like China and stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, they used to be. I don't know if they still are, but I know they used to be limited for like how many hours they could spend playing games. And I remember it was specifically because of StarCraft. But I don't know if that's still a thing or not. They used to play so much StarCraft that like people wouldn't go to work and stuff like that.
Cringe.
And everything was just crumbling because no one was working or doing anything. They were just all playing StarCraft. So like yeah, you've got like an hour or however much time, and then you're done. They just had to be everyone's mother and be like, nope, you're done. It's dinner time. Stop playing the game.
Everyone's mother, but with guns.
Well, yeah.
If you guys don't stop playing video games, we're coming to all your houses and we're gonna murder your whole
We're gonna
family.
kick down your door. Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy over there, man.
it's a whole different world. I couldn't even imagine.
Well, what else did you want to talk about? We're getting kind of near the end here. I got another 15 minutes or so.
All right. Well, I can't remember.
Did you want to talk about Obi-Wan?
Yeah, we can.
Like just quickly, like what did you think about Obi-Wan? Obviously, you finished it and seen it. If anybody who hasn't seen it, obviously, spoiler warning because it's been out for the better part of 2 months now.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't a spoiler, but my biggest problem was something you said earlier. They didn't use the music.
They didn't
And
use the music.
It irritated me in Boba Fett too because they didn't really use it much there either. Where like Star Wars has the iconic music and there's just none of it until like the last episode. I think they used it, and there was like an interview with the what do you call him, like a sound director or something like that, the person who chooses what music and everything, and they're like, yeah, we kind of wanted it to go a different direction. We didn't want it to rely on the Star Wars music. I'm like, this is a Star Wars property continuing from a Star Wars movie and setting up another Star Wars movie with pre-existing Star Wars characters. What do you mean you don't want it to rely on Star Wars? Like, what else are you using?
It doesn't make any sense to me, man. It doesn't make any sense.
No, that music literally prints money for them, and they won't use it.
And it's not like I don't know, like maybe there's something like behind the scenes where like Williams gets like a ridiculous amount of money for every new project, or like that music was only for certain projects and like that was on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like that. Like I think you just buy the rights to a song and then you have the rights.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like pick and choose kind of thing,
I'm assuming it's Lucasfilm that had the rights and they bought the entire company. So like there's no
Yeah,
there's no
right.
one else really. I don't think they gave it to
the
George.
only thing running through my mind when I was watching Obi-Wan. I was like, man, like okay, they gave Williams wrote another score for Obi-Wan. That's cool. Like it's all right. It's nothing mind-blowing if you ask me. Like I'm not a John Williams simp. Like he has a lot of great scores over the years.
Yeah.
But like it was like I8, but like get some like the Force themes in there. Get some Imperial March going. Like you know how much Empire we've seen? Like come on, man.
Yeah, like you go back and watch any of the Star Wars movies and you're getting blasted by music in every scene and it all sounds not the same. Like it doesn't get annoying, but it's all that similar brassy just goodness that everyone expected in this series, and they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
No.
especially like what really got me going is like when they released like the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer and they had Duel of the Fates in there. I was like, man,
Never to be
the
seen
music
again.
is gonna be awesome. Never heard it once. Like what?
Yeah.
You kidding me? Like what? Like okay, Mandalorian. Like I love his theme, like the theme for the Mandalorian,
Right.
like the Bodon, and you know what I mean.
Yep.
But like that's like whatever they're doing with the Mandalorian, that's working. I think like that's like their child now.
Yeah, that's the one that
Everything
really
else,
worked.
like Boba Fett, they basically got like halfway through. They're like, screw it, let's just keep going with the Mandalorian. Like
Yeah,
we don't really care about Boba Fett, which is fine because I don't either.
yeah. That definitely just seemed like they're like, okay, we're gonna end up with a gap for Mandalorian. What can we do to keep making money in the meantime? Like, what property can we
Yeah,
abuse? Like, hey, Boba Fett action figure sold pretty good 40 years ago. What if we just make a whole series about him sitting in a bacta tank doing nothing?
even when he gets out of the Bacta tank, he does nothing.
It's so stupid.
I mean, it was entertaining, but like I've only seen it once. Am I gonna rewatch it? I might just rewatch the Mandalorian parts to get ready for Mando season 3.
Honestly,
Now the Luke stuff was really good, I think, but
yeah, I would still pay probably up to $100 to have someone wipe the like a bantha scene out of my memory forever. Because that's just
like a bantha.
that is exactly like a perfect summary of what Disney is doing to Star Wars, and I can't stand it. It's awful.
It's actually an underrated scene, I think.
But it's not Star Wars. It's not Boba Fett. It's
No,
not.
no,
Oh God.
it's not a man who like went through the ringer. You know
What
I
they
mean?
need to do is make a new series called Space Wars and just abuse it and just do all the dumb stuff they want to do. And when they're done doing that and they only have serious stuff left, then they come back to Star Wars. Like, make your garbage, but make it Space Wars or something else.
And so now you got Andor coming out in August, which is supposed to be like that's supposed to run from like August to November. And you got Bad Batch season 2. I don't know if you've seen any of the first Bad Batch.
No, I never did.
It's basically Clone Wars 2.0.
Yeah.
But like more linear.
Yeah, it's just
And then Mando season 3 in February. And then Ahsoka coming out.
even though she's
After
already
that.
in half the other stuff.
That's right. Now, Ahsoka is basically just going to be live action Rebels, from what I understand. So if you haven't seen that, you're pretty well screwed for that, even though they've openly said, nah, you don't need to see Rebels. But like, I've seen like the leak footage from Celebration or whatever. Yeah, it's Rebels.
Yeah.
There's like 3 characters from Rebels, like right in the middle. Like,
Yeah. I'll be honest. I can almost guarantee I'm not going to watch a single episode of Andor.
yeah,
Because I don't care about that character at all. Like,
I think it's going to be more than just the character, though. Like, I don't know if you've seen the trailer or not. It's going to be like the galaxy state as like a whole.
right.
Like they have like the Senate building in there. So hopefully you see like a lot of the Imperial side. That's the only part that would interest me. Like I know, I understand the rebellion. I understand that it started from nothing and a bunch of people did a bunch of things. They all died in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Kick off A New Hope. I understand that.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't made a whole series about the Bothans that died getting the info for the second Death Star. Just take that one quote
it's coming.
and just be like, hey, we can milk this, right? What if we make it some absolutely stupid story on how they happened to just find it and take it to us and then all die? So we don't have to worry about paying these people for more than one season.
It's gonna be called Rogue 2. It's gonna be the story of how the Bothans got the
Jesus Christ.
plans for the Death Star 2.
I'd cry. I'd burn any Disney Star Wars stuff that I own at that point. That's
What a great idea, though. I should go pitch it to him. Rogue 2.
no,
Oh.
they do like you'd pitch it and they'd be like, I don't think we're gonna do it. And then a week later they'd have like Bothans, and it'd just be the exact same thing. Like, yeah, this is an all new Disney original. No one pitched this to us. We thought of it ourselves because of one line in a movie. We figured we could milk.
Well, that's what they've been doing the whole time. Like, just think about it. So Rogue One, there's a small thermal exhaust port, right? So we're gonna make a whole movie about that. And then Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader in the same movie, A New Hope. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. That's a series.
That doesn't.
That's a series.
Yeah, back to Obi-Wan. I really feel like that messed up the movies a bit. Like, it's just I went into
So
it
like we
thinking
could get
like,
into
are they
like
even gonna meet? And then it turns out they do like 4 times.
and okay, so it's like so he finally beats him right in the last episode. Now, just to talk about like the cinematography, why did they got to do the camera shake, man? Like I've seen a YouTube edit where like they took out the camera shake, looks 100% better.
Yeah.
It's like while they're filming, it's like, okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to just like shake the camera really hard so you can't even really tell what's going on. That way we don't have to spend so much money on CGI.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when he finally beats Vader and they do the classic, like this was already done in Rebels where the half the mask is sliced off, which is cool, but like if you've seen Rebels, it's not the first time you've seen, like they did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, so Obi-Wan's got him beat again, dead to rights, right? Like he's got him beat. Fucking kill him. Like you say, Anakin's already dead. Buddy said it himself that he killed him. Why don't you kill your best friend's murderer? Like what?
Yeah, it's so stupid. And that was his whole goal too. Like he went there, like he did so much of this, and like even in episode 3, that whole fight, he was like, "Yep, I'm gonna cut his legs off and his arm. I'm gonna let him burn because I want to kill him, not because I want him to come back and hunt me for the rest of my life."
Well, that's right. You know what I mean? Like, I give him a bit of a break there. He figured the fire was going to do the job for him, right?
Yeah, but like, he had intent to kill there. Why did he lose it after? Like after that, after he turned his best friend into a friggin' burnt marshmallow, he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll let it.
Put him down.
Yeah, like there's no way after being hunted for 10 years, he's like, you know what? No, I'll let him live. Maybe Anakin's still in there after I burnt him alive.
And like even later, like in the original movies, like, you know, obviously it's out of context now, but he's like going on about he's more like Vader's more machine now, the man, like obviously, but he don't believe, like he thinks he's gone.
Yeah.
But like Luke is the one, no, I think we can give him a chance, you know, and Obi-Wan's like, nah, I went, nah.
Yeah. It's so dumb. And like I don't
even want to talk about Reva, like, or Reva or whatever.
Oh god, what a filler character
like,
that was.
Just so they done Qui-Gon Jinn real dirty, if you ask me. She got stabbed twice, and she's just crawling away,
I've seen
find
so
some
many
kind of
memes
ship.
about that. It's like the We're the Miller scene where it's like you guys are getting paid, stuff like that. But it's like it's Maul getting cut in half, her getting stabbed twice, Anakin losing his legs and his arm, and then Obi-Wan's like, "Wait, you guys are surviving?"
Yeah, like just everything about her, it just wasn't working. And like I gave her a fair kick at the can. You know, I was like, okay, well, there's like this other Inquisitor, which is fine because like we know there's a bunch of Inquisitors, we don't know them all who they are yet. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what, I'm totally cool if she's like the last one they bring in.
Yeah, I've had enough of them adding. They can only
they don't add anything.
Yeah, like they can only do so much when you know they're gonna disappear by episode 4.
And it's not even like I always thought that she was going to be like a mini boss leading up to Vader, like in that series.
Right.
But no, she don't even fight him really.
No, it's so stupid. Like Obi-Wan's just like, hey, you know, we could just fight him together. And she's like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Let's go in one at a time.
Well, no, he bamboozled her there. He had no intention of staying there to help her. He absolutely bamboozled her.
Yeah,
but I love the Order 66 stuff, like at the very beginning, and then like even in was it Mandalorian or Boba Fett? One of the two. It's all the Mandalorian, but Luke like goes in like Grogu's mind, and you see like the temple flashbacks, like live action, like 501st boys again.
That was Boba Fett.
Yeah. Like I would watch an hour of that. Like just show me the attack of the temple.
Just give me an hour of children being murdered.
Honestly, I'd watch it. Like
fair. Yeah, and the fact that like before it came out, we were talking like, oh, how much is Qui-Gon gonna be in it? Like, do you think he'll be in it early? Do you think he'll be in it at all? And I thought there's no way he'd be in it, but I really wanted him to be in it. And then for them to do what they did, like, all right, give me the last episode of the series as a starting point. Get rid of all of everything before it, and then start the series from there.
But it's lore breaking too. It's like the people that make this don't even like know what's going on in their universe. Because like allegedly before this, Qui-Gon can't even manifest himself. He's just a voice.
Yeah.
Like, cause he never completed the training, quotation marks. Right? Like he can, like in the last home stretch of the Clone Wars, he starts talking to Yoda, right, and starts teaching Yoda, like, listen, hey, by the way, I figured out how to do this thing. Now, I didn't finish it, but it's pretty cool. I'd like to see if you could do it. So I got somebody to hang out with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but for him to actually like fully show up, that's
He looked weird though. I don't know what it was. If it's just because he was old and they de-aged him a bit, but he looked strange.
Yeah, I mean, like even when they filmed the Phantom Menace, all that facial hair was all fake, right?
Yeah, he looked so friggin' good
So, like,
though.
he did, yeah, like convincing, like
Yeah, I was glad to see him back though. Like that was the only point where I'm like, that's pretty good. The rest of it, him being like a meat farmer on the Tatooine and everything, there's just so much garbage in there, but it's pretty much what I've come to expect at this point.
Yeah, overall, Obi-Wan Kenobi, 5 out of 10, I think.
Yeah, it was a solid meh, for sure.
Like, it was great to see Ewan back. I think he was great.
Yeah.
Hayden, I wouldn't even really say was in it. There was that one flashback scene, which was pretty cool, but damn, did he ever look old. Oh my god. He looked like a 45-year-old man. A 17-year-old Anakin.
Yeah. It didn't really de-age that super well.
Like, if they can make Luke out of Mark Hamill, why can't they make young Hayden out of him?
Yeah, because the difference between young Mark Hamill and old Mark Hamill is much bigger than young Hayden and current Hayden. Like, he doesn't even look that much different. And then you look at Luke and he looks totally different.
But it's like, I don't even know if they did do any de-aging on him in those scenes. Like, it just looks like him, because he really doesn't look that old.
Yeah.
I think they just threw him in there like, yeah, good enough. They'll love it. They'll eat it up. Don't worry about how it looks.
And some people did. Some people were like, oh my god, I'm so glad to see Anakin back. He looks so good. And it's like, no, he didn't. What were you watching? Did you watch a fan edit where they actually de-aged him?
Yeah, that was the only thing like slapped me in the face like during that. I was like, oh wow, that's actually, it's really cool. Like, you know, like I wish you could see more of that stuff, because they, like, if you take it like the Clone Wars series and all that stuff, they talk about like this brotherhood friendship they had. If you just watch the prequel movies, like, it's kind of there, but you got to fill in like a lot of the gaps yourself, right?
Yeah, you just got to believe it, basically.
You're like, I guess they're really good friends. He's not basically his dad because he raised him since he was 10, but yeah.
The part for me where I'm like, yep, I'm giving up on this series was when it was him and Leia in the trench coat and the four legs. Like, good god, it just reminded me of like Austin Powers
Stooges skit.
Well, yeah, I was thinking Austin Powers when it's him and Mini-Me in the trench coat. It's just, oh, it was so bad. Why did they do that?
Next question is, how did they all fit in the snowspeeder when they were leaving? Have you seen how small those are?
Yeah, they made it pretty clear in episode 5 that you're not getting much in there. It's pretty tight. I guess I basically blocked it out of my mind after I finished watching it, and just bringing it back now is just pain.
It is pain, you know. People were complaining about like Rebels before. Rebels is an absolute gem compared to anything like that they've punched out.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if
once you get over like the animation style, it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, that's what kind of blocked me off, was the animation. Like Clone Wars, I got used to. It was better than the original animated series it had, where Dooku's face was like 8 feet tall. So watching Clone Wars, I was like, wow, this is a lot better. And then Rebels, I was like, I don't really like how that looks. So I didn't get into it.
Yeah. There's definitely some really trash episodes in Rebels, but there's like 8 that are like probably the best Star Wars they punched out.
Yeah. I mean, they just need to leave everything to Dave Filoni. He's the only person I've seen that's actually making anything decent out of Star Wars.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Him and if he has Jon Favreau like just backing him up like on the movie production side of things, like the live action side of things, like they're definitely a good duo. And who knows that they're ones running Mandalorian, so that's why there's such a huge like quality difference. I don't know. Are you totally caught up on Mando? No, you never watched season 2.
No, yeah. Still behind. I don't know if I'll bother catching up or if I'll just use Boba Fett as like a jumping in point again and just go from there.
Anyway, yeah, like Dave and John, they definitely should be running the sharp. It's like, wow, John should replace Kathleen Kennedy. It's like, okay, well, just because he's like really good at doing a few shows doesn't mean he can run a company. You know what I mean? Like, hey, he probably don't even want to.
Yeah, no, all that pressure, nah. But if someone could replace Kathleen Kennedy, that would be great. Please do.
Yeah.
Just an absolute dumpster fire from her.
Anyway, I'm just about out of time here. Did you want to wrap her up?
Yeah, fair enough. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, if you somehow stumble across us, a sub totally helps us out. Whole bunch, likes, comments, any engagement like that. Feel free to let us know what you think of anything we said. Even if you just want to blast us and say we're trash, that's fine. We'll take anything at this point.
Preferably put it at him. He's the director here, so yeah.
Yeah, send any complaints to your drafts, please. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. As always, we're a weekly podcast, so you'll catch us next week. It's been exactly 7 days since our last episode aired, so we're pretty consistent with that overall, I'd say. And yeah, I can't remember. Was there anything else we normally say in outros? It's been a long week, so I'm trying to think of if we plug anything else or not.
No, that's pretty well it. You can catch our live streams on Twitch you can go twitch.tv/TMTCoco, or you can go for myself, Lick My Socks, plural, 117. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Later.